If you look at Ethereum, you know that the issues that they have today with the gas fees, you saw that coming miles away. But you also don't know which network is going to win. And being blockchain agnostic is also the ability to protect the businesses that are building on blockchain, because if they're using our API, and today they're leveraging Ethereum, well, we are giving them the tools to switch that over to another network quite easily as well.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Crypto Weekly podcast, the show where we interview the top movers and shakers in the crypto industry. I'm here with Tim Dierkxsens, the CEO and founder of previously Arcane Network, which is now Venly. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
No problem. Looking forward to it. So why don't we start by just giving a quick introduction of what Venly is, what Venly does, and how you came to build the company.
Yeah, for sure. Venly is, by all definitions, a technology partner trying to make blockchain as simple as possible. And we really started focusing on a couple of core elements. Having a very easy to use blockchain wallet for end users so that they don't need to understand what is the private key, how can I manage this, how can I securitize this, and have complete control and security with that wallet experience. So really to simplify that. Then we focused a little bit more on the gaming aspect and NFTs. How can you create an NFT contract without diving into the code, Solidity, I mean. And then we also created a marketplace experience so that we can bring the three together. And in the end, those three fundamental pieces are what we see the necessary building blocks to make the NFT and the blockchain experience more easy for both the businesses and then the end users as well.
And I think that's so important to kind of bridge that gap from the traditional world to the crypto native world, just making the user experience as easy as possible. As I said when we started, your network was previously Arcane Network, and then you rebranded into Venly. What was the impetus for that rebranding?
Yeah, good question. Well, we really liked the Arcane name, and it suited us when we were industry agnostic, because if you look at Arcane with the C, it was a little bit of a play of words. It meant a secret that only a few people know, because we're doing private key management in a secure way. So it was a small pun. But with our strategy to focus a lot on gaming, we had a lot of game clients, and our wallet is also being used by gamers. So we help game studios adopt gamers by giving them a blockchain wallet. And then there's a big confusion between Arcane and Arcane Studios. And Arcane Studios is a protected brand in the US. So before we get into trouble by growing the Arcane network brand, we decided to switch that over to Venly so that there is no confusion anymore. And it's also then a little bit more, easier to say than Arcane Network.
Absolutely. Fair enough. So let's talk a little bit about your work with game developers. I know you have an integration with Unity. Can you talk a little bit about how that integration works and how it allows game developers to start using blockchain elements within their games?
I wish I could go into very much detail around this, but my colleague Gerbert is the one that can really dive in depth in that regard. But essentially, we have our API services, and what we needed is a good integration for the game developers that are developing with Unity to use the game engine that they're used to and call our services, so that they don't need to retrain how they're developing the assets and minting NFTs in that regard. So our goal there is to allow them to create their in-game assets in the form of NFTs and have that be developed within that Unity plugin.
Amazing. And I think, as we both probably see, the future of NFT based gaming is going to be remarkable. And I think a lot of value will start to move into the gaming space. I always, reference Ready Player One as, we're moving in that direction to have all of our real world values start to be monetized in the gaming world. So, a lot of people, I don't think, fully grasp how big this industry is going to be in the next 5 to 10 years, but it's great to see that you guys are already, well on your way to being that technology partner to make the integrations. Why don't we chat, quickly about the importance of making blockchain accessible for the average user. I think one of the great things about Venly is you take the complexity out, you take the the blockchain keys that nobody can remember. You obfuscate that from the viewer, and I'd just like to hear from your perspective why that's so important in building this global adoption that we all seek in the crypto space.
Yeah, for me, that's very important because most of the people are not tech savvy. I'm not tech savvy myself. When I used to manage my private keys, I used to put that in Evernote, and my colleagues, they were saying how crazy I was to do that. So then they taught me about LastPass and Dashlane and keeping my password secure in that way. And we see that technology needs to work for the people. And I really believe that blockchain technology has valuable use case for everything around transactions. And what is important, it's not the blockchain network itself, but the usability of it. And the only way it can be usable is if people understand what they're doing. And that's not at the technical level. I know how to use a computer. I don't know the bits and the bytes of it.
Yeah. And I think, we're oftentimes in the crypto industry guilty of just speaking different languages. The average user has one way of doing things that we've all been brought up on, for the last 25 years of technology. And now blockchain comes and puts a completely different spin or, way of doing things into the mix. And so it's tough to integrate that unless you bridge the gap by making things more seamless with Web 2. One of the things I think you guys are, another way that you guys are making that seamless transition is you're helping to sell NFTs via Shopify. Can you talk a little bit about that relationship and how those sales are working?
Yeah, so for Shopify, what we're doing there is we have quite a strong feature in our wallets. It's sent to email. And with Shopify, what you're able to do is you're able to upload your digital asset, explain that this is an NFT, and people can fulfill the orders. And we can then look into that order book and say, okay, these orders need to be fulfilled, and every buyer, every email address needs to have that NFT in their wallet. So they then get an email from us saying, okay, this is a fulfillment of the purchase that you made on Shopify.
Mm-hmm. I think that's great. And once again, just making that jump so much easier for the average person. I think, one of the groups of people that NFTs specifically will really benefit are artists, creators, and musicians in the sort. But oftentimes they are just as tech savvy as the other person. So what are some of the ways that Venly is working as a technology partner with these artists and creators to help them build on the blockchain?
Yeah, we don't work directly with artists or creatives, and that's not really our ambition to do so because we are really a technology provider. If you're going to be doing custom development and working on their NFT strategy, that's a little bit too far from where we're comfortable with. So in that regard, we're partnering with Venly, for example. Venly has done a couple of NFT sales, and we're for them the fulfillment in supporting these projects.
Beautiful. So what's next for Venly? What's on the roadmap coming forward for the next year?
we really believe in being blockchain agnostic. So we were one of the first to support Polygon. We have a very deep relationship with them. Then we also started with Binance Smart Chain. So that is now up and coming on our services on the NFT tools and marketplace. And now both Avalanche and Hedera Hashgraph. And with that, we have with Ethereum, then 5 dedicated blockchain networks that we fully support, from wallets to NFT tools to marketplace.
Amazing. And, you know, top 5 of the top, I would say, base level protocols as well. So congratulations on those integrations as they roll out. Talk a little bit about why it's so important to be cross-chain in a world that's, you know, in a blockchain world that's so segmented off and siloed.
It's primarily important because if you look at Ethereum, you know that the issues that they have today with the gas fees, you saw that coming miles away. And blockchain technology has its use cases, but you also don't know which network is going to win. And being blockchain agnostic is also the ability to protect the businesses that are building on blockchain, because if they're using our API, and today they're leveraging Ethereum, well, we are giving them the tools to switch that over to another network quite easily as well. So then the company that has spent hundreds of thousands of dollars developing their game or their NFT strategy on Ethereum, well, right now they don't need to redo everything if they're using Venly to port that over to, let's say, for example, Polygon. Because we treat blockchain as a parameter in that case. And we want to keep the businesses as secure as possible, and also remove a little bit that infrastructure lock-in. And then it's really working with the different blockchain networks the best way that we can, so that in the end, we can start creating service level agreements with those businesses. And that is where we see the market heading. We're creating opportunities for these businesses to really focus on building a meaningful product for the end users.
Speaking of where the market's heading, I'm not going to talk about price, but I want to hear your, what are you most excited for? What type of developments in the crypto, industry are you most excited to see in the next, call it, 2 to 5 years?
I'm excited about the convergence of the different industries. So if you look at gaming, if you look at music, if you look at esports, they're all coming closer together, and that's due to blockchain technology, taking the asset from a game and putting it into another game, or taking a music video and putting that into a metaverse. There I see so many synergies, and then where you can add the concept of unlockable content to create partnerships between different games or different companies.
Absolutely. It seems, when we talk about the metaverse, and that's another thing I wanted to ask you about, is your partnership with Sandbox. But I think the metaverse as well is just something that's so far out of the realm and the grasp of the average everyday person. It's tough to sometimes conceptualize how much value and time and transactions are going to happen on this thing. I think within the next, call it 5 years, but exponential growth I see in that space. So tell me a bit about your working relationship with Sandbox.
With Sandbox, Sebastian Bourget is an advisor to Venly. So that is also one of the things he's helped us a lot with. What is in a metaverse, what are in-game assets, and helping us understand NFTs a little bit more. And with that, he also helped us with the onboarding strategy, as in our wallet solution, to make that seamless to where we are focusing on the social accounts. And with that, he really helped us define a good strategy to onboard the users that is not painful for them, as in they see the value of our services. And where in the end, their onboarding mainstream users where they can actually do targeted ads on Twitter, on Facebook, what's the other one, on Google as well. And where they're coming from, then those users are using their preferred social account.
Got
So
it.
that is really where we're helping each other out. They're focusing on building the metaverse, and we're helping them out on getting their users the wallets that they need without the learning curve.
Wow. Well, it seems like you have, a lot on the go, and you guys are doing some great work to bridge the gap between, everyday users and blockchain developers and the blockchain community. So thanks for all the work that you're doing. Tim, if people wanted to work with Venly or if they wanted to get in contact, how would they do so?
Easiest right now is to look at the site, venly.io. There we have a tab for users. If they want, they can join our Discord and learn a little bit more over there. We have a tab there for getting your own wallet. So it's free for end users. And we have a tab for developers where they can learn more about our products and services. And they can always reach me at tim@venly.io.
Perfect. Well, it was great to chat with you. Thanks so much for the update, and we look forward to hearing from you soon.
Yeah, thanks, Mike. It was
Thank you.
fun talking to you too.